Hi, this is just a brief introduction to how English 1010 translates into English 1020. So at this point, hopefully you've read chapter 40, which talks about writing for the humanities. And for a lot of the disciplines that you might be going into, you'll probably be taking Expository Writing 2 / English 1020 next. It works really well if you do need to take Expository Writing 2, it works really well if you take it right after Expository Writing 1, because all the things that we've learned this semester will translate into that class. By the time you get to 1020, I expect that you are writing solid essays, you have quality thesis statements, you're picking good topics, you don't have to worry about things like organization, grammar, any of the things that we've been tidying up in 1010. So as far as the applicability of 1010, we're just moving right on from here. So you've mastered essay writing, and now we're moving on to really focusing on how we can use really strong critical thinking and then tie that into essay writing. So the thing we're going to do to accomplish that critical thinking is we're going to be focusing on literature. So for 1020, if you take it with me, we will be using the Norton Introduction to Literature, 9th edition. This is available at our bookstore, or depending on where you're located, a variety of different places. And we will be looking at short story, poetry, and drama, and we'll be writing some essays about that. So this chapter 40 is a really nice segue into what you'll be doing next semester if you're continuing forward with this. I do recommend that you hold on to your handbook because you will still be citing sources. So it's tempting to sell it back, for the fifth of the price that you bought it for, but I would recommend holding on to it. One thing that will be kind of an interesting conversation as we move into next semester is we'll be talking about what determines, I say with air quotes, good literature. What makes literary canon? Literary canon is the literature that has been established as good quality literature, the things that you read in English classes. This is considered canon. Does that mean that things that are not considered canon aren't worth studying? Does that mean that everything that is considered canon is super interesting? These are some of the questions that we're going to be looking at. The anthologies like this tend to be focused on things that are found in the canon. So you'll have all of the big names, Hemingway, Shakespeare, Hughes, right? All of the kind of big name people in canon. But because I want to encourage you to decide for yourselves, also in addition to this, what makes good literature, we will try to reach out a little bit into things that are not considered canon. So in the poetry section, we might look at some of the spoken word movement. We might look at some hip hop. For short story, we might look at how comic books are functioning as short stories, or we might look at the graphic novel, which is another interest of mine. So some things like that. So we'll be looking at canon, but we will also be kind of exploring the boundaries of canon and what makes good literature. I think it's going to be a really good time, and I hope that you stick with us for next semester. But that's really what chapter 40 is about, is preparing you to take the things that you learned in 1010 and then preparing to move forward into 1020.